Hey everyone, and welcome to Module 5 of your Mindset course. I'm so sorry that I couldn't upload it last night, but as I explained, I had to deal with the situation and I didn't want to just upload information that I didn't feel was up to what I had previously planned. So I wanted to be able to sit down this evening, rewrite my script, and go through everything, make sure all the points I wanted to address were going to be touched on, and it was more important to me that I took the time to do that so that you guys can really benefit from this module, which I think is a really important one, as are the previous modules that we have worked on to date. So that was week 1. We had our goal setting, setting out your goals, your long-term, medium-term and short-term, creating your vision boards, which I hope you've all done. I'm sure you have. Place somewhere that you can see it every single day, be it in your room, on your phone, wherever you see something every day, because even if you're not consciously looking at it, subconsciously it's going into your mind. Number 2 then was we worked on visualization and the importance of mental rehearsal and spending at least 5 minutes every single day in your vision and seeing it as if it's already happened and it's already come to pass. Next week then was week 3, where we worked on limiting beliefs. So eradicating any limiting beliefs that you have had that have been holding you back, and creating new empowering beliefs that you believe about yourself that's going to propel you forward. Understanding that past programs can be changed and you can carve a new path for yourself, but it starts on how you believe, what you believe about yourself, and eradicating things that are holding you back. Last week then we worked on action steps, which is so important because obviously, this is the link between actually envisioning something, believing in it, and bringing it about. It's about taking action, and it's all about consistent action daily. So we spoke about your 7 action steps. I hope you've been doing those every day. So it's your 7 important things that you need to do each day in line with your goal and in line with where you want to go. So that has to be, the 7 steps has to be in line with your goal. First, you need to do the first point. When that's ticked off, you can move on to the next one. And then we spoke also about your mantras of, day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Day by day in every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger. Day by day in every way, I'm getting more and more prosperous. I'm getting more and more confident. Whatever you wanted to attract as well was another part, very important part that we have covered to date. So today we are moving on, like I said, to our module called self-image. So your self-image is the way that you see yourself in your unconscious mind, in your imagination. So the reason that your self-image is so important is because your behaviors and your actions almost never change from how you perceive yourself. And we've all seen people met people day to day that actually put themselves down. I don't feel great, I'm not attractive, or whatever it is. And it's because they perceive themselves as unattractive or too old or too fat or whatever it is. And they're not actually that way, but because they perceive themselves to be that way, that's how they come across to the people that they meet, or people that come across as being unconfident. It's what they're putting out there, it's what they believe about themselves. I have no confidence, so of course they're never going to exude confidence, and you're not going to be like, God, that person is really confident. If deep down they have zero confidence, that's what they're going to portray. And they might be able to put up a good front, but at the end of the day, it's always read through. So deep down, if you truly believe that you are unattractive or unworthy, you will consciously sabotage any attempts to make yourself more attractive, to make let into your life things that you are worthy of, because you're continuously believing about yourself that you're not worthy for that, so that is not going to find its way into your life. And worse again, you project that image outwards and people pick up on this. So if you feel that you're unattractive, you project that image outwards, and then people perceive you as being unattractive. And it's a lot of the time, it just comes down to how you feel about yourself, how you hold yourself. Because if you feel that you're unattractive, you're going to hold yourself in such a way that kind of puts that out there. However, if you feel attractive, you're going to walk tall, you're going to have your shoulders back, you're going to have your head up, you're going to feel good, and that's what you're going to put out there. So studies have shown that an extraordinary number of people who suddenly receive large amounts of money through lotto wins or inheritance are likely to lose it again almost as quickly. And people who earn more money will likely lose it if what they are earning is more than what they believe they are worth. So they will be uncomfortable with the extra money, so they'll find a way to spend it all, splash it on something, buy something where all the money, is just spent, and they find some way unconsciously to get rid of it because they're uncomfortable with it. So, sometimes people come into money and it doesn't last, or they come into a good relationship and they self-sabotage it because they don't believe they're worthy of it. So how we feel really puts sorry, there was somebody there trying to open my door. Okay, I think I'm safe. Okay, sorry. So how we feel about ourselves is portrayed outwards. So what you believe about yourself and what you think about yourself affects what other people think about you. Because over 90% of what we communicate is unconscious. And because of that, the people you meet are continually responding to your body language, your tone of voice, and the emotional signals that you're giving off. So you are unconsciously letting other people know how to perceive you by the way you perceive yourself. So unfortunately, if you have a negative self-image, your outer successes rarely change it for the better. No matter how much you acquire on the outside, you can have the nicest house, the nicest car, the most amount of money, you can be in the best shape of your life. It won't satisfy you if you don't feel good or worthy about yourself inside. So you see this a lot of the time where people, think, I'm going to be happy when I look a certain way. Get into that shape, and does hey presto happiness come along? No, it doesn't. It comes from within. It comes from how you perceive yourself as a person, aside from the physical. That's just an additional thing. But you see people get into the best shapes of their lives, think that it's going to bring them happiness, but in fact it doesn't. Because it doesn't define you. How you see yourself from the inside is what defines you. So how is your self-image formed exactly? So some of the early messages that you got as a child were no doubt positive, but many also were negative. And this could be the reason why you have a negative self-image today. Maybe you may have been, in school, and you may have been told that you were useless at something, or you'll never amount to anything, or you're not good enough, or your spelling is atrocious, whatever it was, and you soaked up all of the negative suggestions as well as the useful positive ones that came your way. So this all went into your subconscious mind, and it's something that you believe about yourself. Now, for me, I remember when I was younger, my sister was a really good singer, and I always wanted to be able to sing. And she used to be singing around the house, and I used to sing too. Like, I used to think I was great. And I always wanted to be like her, you know. But she kept telling me that I couldn't sing. And she kept saying, oh, you can't sing and blah, blah, blah. Now, she didn't mean to offend me or cause any, like, upset or anything. But basically, yeah, she was just telling me that I couldn't sing. So all the way up the years, I always had this thing like, I can't sing, I can't sing, whatever. It was a program that was put in my head from that experience, like I said. And then, I was at some party or something, and I sang a song, Grace. I don't know if you know it, it's like a ballad, an Irish ballad. Anyway, and everyone was like, wow, like that was amazing. I still think I can't sing. But other people are like, you can't sing. But because of this past program in my brain, I'm like, no, I can't sing. Now, I'm by no means a great singer, but the thing is, I probably can sing, but I just don't give myself enough credit because of the past programs that are in my brain. And that basically just came from an experience and became a program in my head, I can't sing. So whatever has been said to you in the past about certain things that you can't do, it's a subconscious thing now, and it's in there, and that's what you believe about yourself. So these are the things that we want to change. At school, negativity is often reinforced. As a teacher myself, I always tried to draw on the positive with the children. I would never see any benefit in highlighting the negatives. You turn them into positives. You tell them how they can get better, how can they improve, blah blah blah. But that wasn't always the way. It used to be, where negativity was, you're no good, or you failed this and that, and blah 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 blah, or whatever. And that affects confidence within yourself. To act as you want to act, for fear of being judged, as it not being good enough, or letting people down again. So this leads to many people around you as you grow up then, in school, in your peer groups with low self-esteem, and then you become who you spend time with. So if there's loads of people who've been knocked down by all this negativity, their self-esteem is being knocked, and then this just radiates on a group format, where it kind of escalates and it what's the word I'm looking for, magnifies, and that's just something that may have been instilled for you to start believing what you believe about yourself, and have negative self-talk, negative thoughts, negative beliefs about yourself. Research shows that by the age of 14, 98% of children have a negative self-image, and that continues on obviously into adolescence, which is quite a scary thing. And social media at the moment has a huge role to play in that. It's set up as like a fantasy world. You have to remember that social media are the highlight reel of people's lives. They're never going to put up their bad experiences and their bad days. Then nobody's going to post up well, maybe they do on Facebook, some people do, but I'll say on Instagram, like, an argument, like, with somebody, it's just not. People are like, this is my life, it's wonderful, blah, 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 but, there's always struggles in life, and that is life. So remember, when you're looking as well on Instagram, that people put up their highlights, so don't compare your general day to people's highlights, and then, get a bit upset, like, this person has a great life, or this person looks amazing, blah, 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 blah. It's just not reality, really. In week 2, we talked about, or module 2, we talked about the importance of the art and science of mental rehearsal. And this is equally important now when applying it to your self-image. So that's how we're going to change it. So mental rehearsal is how we best use our frontal lobes and best use its ability to make significant changes in life. So when we rehearse, we have a more focused and purposeful intent. It's not about winging it. Remember, it is about performing in your mind as if the occasion were a concert rehearsal. It's supposed to replicate the experience of doing the actual thing or being in the actual event. You know, in this case, mentally rehearsing and actually doing are one and the same with your self-image. So the key component in making new neural connections in your brain is focused attention through mental rehearsal. With mental rehearsal, brain connections are made and new memory is stored. So we want to make new brain connections. We want to dissipate the old ones that are bringing you back, your self-belief that is destructive, and we want to create new neural pathways in your brain so that you can believe in yourself more, and this will help propel you in the future and in with your goals. So by doing this, we make long-lasting synaptic connections. In 1995, in a journal of neurophysiology, an article was published demonstrating the effects that mental rehearsal alone had on developing neural networks in the brain. This is very similar to the basketball study that I spoke about in, I can't remember whether it was, I think it was module 2, yeah. So in this study, it was based on piano, and there were 4 groups of individuals that were asked to take part, so 4 different groups, and it was a 5-day study, and it involved practicing the piano in order to measure the changes that might have taken place in the brain. So the first group had to practice 2 hours a day, 5 days on something new. So they learned and memorized a specific sequence that they physically practiced every day for 2 hours. So that was group 1. Group 2 just could come and play whatever they fancied. Group 3, they were told to mentally rehearse for 2 hours a day for 5 days. So just in their minds. So this group, they never actually touched the piano within these 5 days, but they were in the beginning given the opportunity to observe what was taught to the first group until they knew it by memory. So they were given the opportunity to observe it, see it, learn it, memorize it, but then for the 5 days, they did not practice on a piano, they practiced in their brain. So they mentally rehearsed by imagining themselves in the experience for the same length of time per day as the first group did. And then the 4th group were just basically told, like, don't even bother, don't even show up. So the result of that study was, at the end of the 5 days, the experimenters measured the changes that took place. So there were no neural connections in the 2nd or the 4th group, which makes sense. 2nd group was the group that could play whatever they liked. 4th group was the group that, you needn't even bother show up at all. The first group grew a large number of new neural circuits, but amazingly the 3rd group, who only mentally rehearsed for the 5 days, grew the exact same amount of new neural circuits than the first group did. So the brain was working differently. By visualizing, they were changing their minds. So on a functional brain scan, the brain looked like it had the experience ahead of the event. So through mental focusing and mental focusing alone, the 3rd group repeatedly fired specific new neural networks in particular areas of the brain, and as a result, they wired those nerve cells together in greater measure. So, how powerful is that? And it's like the quote says, you have to first live it in your brain before it comes to reality, So it is so, so powerful. And if I haven't kind of emphasized that enough over the last couple of weeks, your visualization, if you are not doing that daily, you are not giving yourself a chance to succeed with your goals, with your vision, with everything. You need, and this isn't visualizing by just looking at your goal board. This is meditation music on, eyes closed, bringing up that vision with such intensity, such power, such passion, emotional connection that you could almost nearly explode. That's how I feel when I'm visualizing. I'm just like, the excitement, the energy, the sheer just determination, the want for my goals is like coming out my throat. to put it like in a term that you might even understand. I can't explain it. Like the excitement that I feel, the energy that I feel, and that is what is important. But if you're not visualizing, if you are saying, that doesn't work, you are doing yourself a serious, serious injustice in life. And I'm just going to say that. So what we have to do in regards to our self-image is we have to create the ideal in our heads of who we want to be. Who do you want to be? You need to feel this new, empowering, emotional state of being every single day. You know? Can you, like, if you want to be a person that doesn't react, explosively, can you imagine that you don't react and you stop and you remember to bring up the elevated feeling of who you are growing into? Is this reaction going to serve me? Is this reaction going to bring me to the person that I want to be? Do I want to be a person of anger? Does that serve me? Bringing up the visualization of the person you want to be, calm, reflected, just with a clear sense of, logic, reasoning, rationalizing before exploding. Because a lot of the time, people just explode and they don't even think it through, and then it's like, oh God, I shouldn't have said that. Oh God, shouldn't have done that. So it's done in the spur of a moment, and when you do something, and when you say something hurtful, you cannot take it back. So do you want to be the person that can control that? So, you can rehearse something so well that you can create a new mind before you even take any action. That thought along with the feeling creates the experience. So let me repeat that. You can rehearse something so well that you can create a new mind before you even take action. The thought along with the feeling creates the experience. And remember, the quantum field, according to physics, will respond to your state of being. So this does not mean that you don't have to take action. It means that you already create the experience in your mind. And then the quantum field is going to present things to you that you take action on in order to get you to your goals. So, my own self-image growing up was really, it wasn't great. Through my teenage years, I really had to overcome a lot of programming over the last number of years. I've had to grow on a serious journey of mind, especially in the area of self-esteem, self-worth, confidence. These beliefs about myself, I just, they led me to really poor choices at points. And over the years, from, my teens into my early 20s, things that, I'll never say I regret things, but, you nearly verge on saying that everything is a learning experience, you grow from it, blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't in a good place, and certain things, I lacked so much self-confidence, so much self-esteem, and felt like I needed to get that from other sources in order to make me feel better about myself. But once I got clear, real clear about where I was in my life and the content of my life, and I was aware of this negative self-image, and then I became aware of where I wanted to go. This is when things really began to shift and change for me, So I began to eliminate destructive habits that were going to keep me stuck and going backwards. I let go of the negative self-image that I had of myself. I let go of thinking too small. I let go of procrastination. I let go of caring about the other people's opinions of me. I let go of my fear of failure. I started to take responsibility for my life and for my happiness. And also in that, realizing that it wasn't just about me, because every thought I had, every feeling that I had about myself, every action that I took or every action that I didn't take, I knew that it had consequences not only for me in my life, but for everyone that I cared for, everyone that I loved, everyone I knew, but also on top of that, for people that I'd yet to meet. So had I not taken control of my life, I wouldn't have the ability to be able to help so many people with mindset, with, just getting their lives focused on track, be it with nutrition, training, or just mindset alone. Had I not made this realization within myself, I would have stopped my life journey, my path. I know, God knows what path I would have taken. But this is the path that I've taken because this was the right path for me. So I decided there and then to pursue my dream and make a difference in the world, to increase people's awareness in their understanding and quality of life. Not just outward success, but happiness and inner peace and fulfillment within myself by changing my own self-image. So this is the most important part of what I do. By changing my own self-image, I know I can help others to change theirs. So by changing your own self-image, what can you help others to do? And I'm not talking about on a grand scale or even on a business scale or doing what I do, that kind of thing. What about your nearest and dearest? How will changing your self-image influence them and help them? How will changing your self-image, maybe if you're looking for someone in your life, bring that into your life? Will that make you feel better about yourself if you change how you believe about yourself? And once I changed my own, I felt so much happier, so much less stressed. I had much more energy, capacity to focus my mind, and with this then, opportunities came. Everything in my life took an upturn, I began to attract in people, situations, opportunities, business situations, into my life. But that was because of where I put myself, because I began to change how I felt about myself. And by doing so, my projection of myself outwards was much different. So what is my self-image now? So I'm happy, I'm successful, I'm healthy, fit, energetic. I have a great business. I'm so grateful for it. I have amazing clients. And, I just love to hear how my coaching has enhanced so many people's lives. It gives me such a sense of purpose and right action every day that I'm doing what I'm destined and meant to do. But what happens with some people is the small voice of intelligence, that authentic self of how you really are. Sometimes it can be barely heard under the louder voice of the negative self-image. You can't do that. You're going to fail. Don't take the risk. This voice. But your real, authentic self wants to achieve, deserves to achieve, and should achieve. So by clearing your mind, aligning with your true self-image, you begin to see yourself in a new light. In fact, you will see your light once again, and you will begin to turn up the volume on the inner voice, to trust in the wisdom and follow the prompting and direction of your own wisdom. And when you do that, your life will change forever. So how to reprogram your own self-image? It's pretty basic. Doing anything to change your physical outward appearance does not enhance your self-image if it's poor. Visualization techniques in order to reprogram your mind and to change your own self-image. So this is all about going back into your theater of your mind, your meditation music on again, you're bringing up your goals, the excitement, the energy, just the sheer, enjoyment of having already achieved that and the sense of satisfaction. But this time with a new self-image about yourself. This time is different because this time you have more belief in yourself. So imagine yourself as you ideally want to be. You will become more at peace with yourself within a number of days when you're doing this. Modern day, a version of reprogramming your self-image, our results in life come from our beliefs and who we really are. The more that you align your self-image with your real self, buried underneath all those little negative, niggly voices, the richer, more successful and more rewarding your life will be. I don't mean richer in the sense of money, I mean richer in the sense of purpose. And also, obviously, if bringing more prosperity into your life is something that you want to attract in, by all means, that will become part of your life as well. This isn't a new concept, visualization and all these techniques. It's been taught for years by spiritual leaders. By visualizing, it builds new memories and stored data into your nervous system, and a new image of yourself. Like we spoke about with the piano, new neural connections are made, new beliefs, new structures are solidified, and by repeating it day in, day out, they become stronger and stronger every day. And after practicing it for a time, you'll be amazed. You'll find yourself acting differently. You'll believe more in yourself. You'll hold yourself. You'll carry yourself differently. So during your visualization, you're going to see yourself acting, feeling, and being as you want to be right now. You need to make sure that it's in the present tense. So you will imagine how you would feel if you were already the type of person that you want to be. So for example, if you've been shy or timid, now you're going to see yourself moving among people with ease and purpose. If you've been fearful and anxious, in certain situations, you're going to find yourself calm and relaxed and acting with confidence and expansiveness and knowing that you're in control. By repeating this simple process once a day, every single day, you are going to allow your self-image to easily integrate with your real self. And by doing that, you will just see things change. People will begin to act differently around you. People will see the energy. People will see the passion. People will see the belief in your eyes. And they will think, I want to be with this person. Or, I don't mean that in the relationship sense. I mean, they want to be surrounded by people that are like that. Focused, driven, sure, know where they're going, and believe in themselves. So, take a few moments now to think of the qualities that you would like to add to your self-image. More belief, more confidence, more energy, being happier, being more grateful, being more focused. What are the attributes and the self-belief that you want to have within yourself that you are going to portray outwardly again? So your self-image is so, so, so important, because how you see yourself and how you perceive yourself is how other people begin to perceive you also. So what you need to do is, if you feel like it's not serving you and you need to do some work on this, you need to add this into your daily visualization every single day. And you need to create new neural pathways within the brain, like in the piano survey that was done. Practicing every single day is going to solidify it day in, day out, until new connections are made in your brain, and this is what you believe. It's already happened in your mind before it's happened in reality. Once it happens in your mind in your visualization, you're going to see yourself and start acting that way, and people are going to start acting differently around you because they will see it too. And that is the importance of visualization with new self-belief. So guys, please make sure you're visualizing. Make sure you have emotional connection. Make sure you're passionate, driven, focused. Feel the energy, It's just bursting to get out of you. That is how you should feel. And that is so, so, so important. So that marks the end of Module 5. So your homework this week is visualizing with the new self-belief. I would like to see you doing it morning and night. Really, can you, sacrifice 5 minutes of TV or whatever it is in the evening time to spend doing this, when this is going to change your life? Is Love Island, watching that, going to change your life? No. Is visualizing the person that you are growing into going to change your life? Yes. You make the priority, you make the choice. If you can't take 5 minutes to do it, I question your real sense of want for this. But I know all you guys do want this, so I really hope you're all doing it. Day in, day out, morning and evening for me, morning and evening for you guys. Have an absolutely fabulous week. Thank you so much for your patience and waiting for this. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys really soon. Pop your any sort of feedback or anything. I always love it. And have a lovely week.